take your seats if you haven't already. We're ready to begin this morning. Put my glasses on so I can see. Now I can't see y'all. Well, we want to welcome all of you today, all of our attendees to Eggs and Issues. We look forward so much to these events. They certainly are inspiring and encouraging, and it's always a treat to hear from our county leadership. But this time it's a little bittersweet. We've got some who will be retiring, and so as they get a retirement, we're going to wish them their best today. But you know, as we look around the room here and we see this group of community leaders, it helps us to remember that we have great development partners. All of you work together to ensure that the chamber and the community are strong and continue to endure. And so this convening of leaders is certainly encouraging and inspiring, so thank you for that. We are grateful for our ongoing support of the host of our series, House and Healthcare. We thank them today for this event. Let's give them a round of applause. And our great series sponsor, Synovus. I had to throw that in there. And so because of that, I'm going to ask Mr. Ron Wycliffe, he'll come up and lead our invocation of pledge. Ron.
Well, thank you. It's always a treat to represent Synovus at this Eggs and Issues, and as David mentioned, this is a special one. It's really cool to honor people that have served for so long, and I know there's many in here that have done that, but especially some that we're going to recognize today. I'm thinking about one in particular. Before I get to the, and I'm sorry you have to endure. For those that do not like dad jokes, I'm just sorry. I'll just apologize in the beginning. But whenever I get the opportunity, I just have to throw one out. So I have two of them for you this morning. So you know what I hate? When somebody waves at you and you can't tell if they're waving at you or somebody behind you. In other news, I lost my lifeguard job this morning. Okay, one more. Just hang in there. Okay. What did the geologist say to the limestone? Don't take me for granted. All right. If y'all arrive, those people. Lord, thank you for this day. We're humbled to be in your presence. We're awed at the love that you show us through your Son. And we know that there's many unspoken prayers in this room. We just ask that you tend to them. And while we could ask for many, many things this morning, I just want to lift up all the blessings that I can think of that come to mind this morning. And you know, number one is community, the people that are dedicated to this community in whatever capacity they serve, whether or not it's people on the front lines serving as first responders, healthcare, you know, if it's our Air Force that protects us from a global basis. I mean, there's just so many things, and I'm so grateful for all of them. And I'm also grateful for the representatives that we have here. We're going to be talking about commissioners and the state of the community as it relates to that. But, you know, I'm specifically grateful for Mr. Tommy and the gifts that you've given him to supply to our community, and the panel that the upcoming leadership that will be here. I'm so grateful. Also want us to recognize that you put us in a community. There's no mistakes in your plan, and so we're in this community by design, and that we leverage each other to help one another as we go through life. And all these things, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, you better go off the other way. I apologize. apologize, y'all, I'm sorry about that. I also wanted to mention this morning, we want to mention our new corporate and military banners. Those look very nice, and we want to thank our new partners for stepping up and being a part of the chamber, and so these represent their support, and so we thank them for that. And then we also have a number of our new Robins Air Force Base leadership represented today, so please welcome them. Let's welcome them all. Today's session is sponsored by Flint Energy, so I'm going to ask the VP of Cooperative Communications, Marion McLemore, to the stage.
Good morning. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here today to celebrate Houston County. We're grateful to be a sponsor of this session, and we look forward to hearing great things about Georgia's most progressive county. And last year, in 2021, the Robins region celebrated the 80th anniversary of Robins Air Force Base and the 200th anniversary of Houston County. This year, the celebrations continue as Flint Energy celebrates its 85th anniversary. We've been serving people with power and purpose since 1937, and we're delighted to serve many of you in the audience. And we look forward to serving you with energy and community support for the next 85 years and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Marion. And so now, we come to the part of the program that everyone's excited about. It's my pleasure to welcome our legislators to the stage, along with Angie Giesland, Executive Director of Houston County Development Authority, to present today's program. Just a side note, Angie is, April's under the weather, so she wasn't able to join us. So we've got Angie who's going to graciously fill in for us. So y'all come on up to the stage.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here and to fill in for April, although we all know not to replace April. When I found out yesterday that she needed me to stand in for her, I started channeling. I started thinking about her enthusiasm and her professionalism. And I got up this morning, I tried to do my hair, and it fell completely flat. But I promise to hold true to the first two as much as I can. Talked to Chairman Stallnaker last night before I went to bed and tried to go to sleep. Eventually I did, and I had this continuous TikTok video going on in my head of falling off the stage and on the stage. Usually, we're on the end. Off the stage, on the stage. So I can assure you today we're going to all be safe. This is a record crowd to grace this stage up here. And just delighted to be here. So I want to turn it over to Chairman Stallnaker to get us kicked off.
Good morning. Commissioners, I apologize to you for being downgraded to legislators. These are county commissioners up here.
Yes, sir.
I see Robert looking at me like, good morning to y'all. It is an honor to be here. And obviously for three of us up here on the stage, it will be our last eggs and issues that we do as far as the program. Now, we could be there watching in the audience like the rest of you are now, but this is the last time we'll be doing this. This is my 12th year, but I think we had 2 years that we did not do it because of COVID, or at least one. And it's always been a pleasure to be able to come and talk about Houston County and all. Before we get started in the program, though, there's some people that I want to acknowledge and thank before we get too far in. And I'm thanking these people on behalf of the entire Board of Commissioners that are sitting here, as well as the staff that are here today. I want to begin by saying something about our people that serve this great nation of ours, that are so dedicated and come to this event every time they have it, and they are to be commended for what they do to serve this country. And I particularly want to call out one individual who is due to the community and due to Robbins, and it's General Eberlin. General, would you please stand, sir? General, that's a Houston County welcome. I will tell you one little short story on General Eberlin, though. I talked to him before he came here, and I asked him 2 questions. I said, General, I want to make sure you're going to fit in and you're going to be accepted here. He said, like, who am I talking to here? So I gave him the 2 questions. I said, first of all, what county are you going to be in when you get to Robbins Air Force Base? And he nailed it. He said, Houston. I said, that's good. I'll check that one off. I said, you're going to see this funny looking word around occasionally, and it's really an acronym. And that acronym starts with an E, ED. And he got it about 99%. He only stumbled one time. So he had done his homework on this community, ladies and gentlemen. And he's from Texas, and I said, General, only thing I can say about the folks from Texas, I like them. They're some good folks in Texas. They just have not learned how to say Houston. They keep calling it Houston. General, welcome to Robbins Air Force Base. To the Robbins Chamber, I'm deeply regret April's not able to be here today. She does a fantastic job, in my opinion, for the chamber. The chamber staff that is here, please raise your hand, because you do a lot of work behind the scenes and do not get acknowledged. Raise your hand up.
The rest are in the back.
Yeah, I want to say thank you on behalf of the commissioners for what you do and all. The board members, the volunteers and all, y'all do a fantastic job and all. Board of Education. The Board of Education. Dr. Mark Scott, school superintendent, in my opinion, is the best school superintendent in the state of Georgia. I have been around a lot of different counties in this state, and I see the education quality of those various counties, and this one is at the very top. People ask me a lot, and they ask other people, why in the world are people moving here? Well, in my opinion, education is one of the magnets and one of the drawing forces for bringing new people into this community. I want to thank each one of you sitting back there, Dr. Scott, for what you do. I also want to acknowledge 2 short-termers with the Board of Education, kind of like 3 of us are short-termers. Chairman Fred Wilson. Chairman, stand up for just a minute. I want to say something about you. Chairman Wilson has served on the board for a number of years. His leadership has been outstanding, sir. You have done a great job leading the Board of Education through some tough times. Not only zoning issues, but new construction, and always been stable and going forward and all. The man that keeps his hand on the finances, Steve Tublin. Steve is short-term. Steve, stand up for a minute. I went back there a minute ago and I called him a short-termer, and everybody started smiling around the table. I said, what are y'all smiling about? I don't know if they're glad to get rid of you or what it is, but you've done a great job keeping the finances of the school system in order. And I remember what Danny Carpenter said about you one time. I think he told you, if you ever messed up and let him get in trouble, you was history, and you didn't do it. Also, I want to say something about the cities, the partnerships with the cities. Mayor Harley is here today. I saw him. Mayor Harley, would you please stand for just a minute? Where you at? Okay. Sir, I want to thank you for your relationship with me. It's not over. We got the remainder of the year, and we got that relationship will go forward after that. But I want to thank you for what you do for the citizens of Centerville, but not only for Centerville, but for all of Houston County, because working together is how we've had the success we have in this county. Thank you very much. Any council members from ACR, council members, stand up. You are equally important. Thank you. Mayor Perry, Mayor Walker, over here. Mayor Walker, please stand up. He's a true friend. I've become to know him very well as a councilman and as the mayor. And my relationship with him and the Board of Commissioners' relationship with him, as well as the other cities, I would say is the reason again that we've had the level of success we've had in this community. Any council members from Perry here? Thank you. Some staff people are here. Okay, thank you, sir. City of Warner Robins. I have not seen Mayor Patrick. Oh, there you slipped in on me, Mayor. You slide right by me. I will tell you about this lady. When she came in office, I talked to her right after she came in office. She has developed a relationship with Houston County, and I think Houston County has equally developed that relationship with her. She's working very well among the other governmental agencies. That means the cities, the Board of Education, the base, the Board of Commissioners, and you're to be commended for your leadership, Mayor. Your friendship as well. It's kind of like I told Mayor Harley, we're short term to one extent, but the relationship and the friendship will go on forever. Your staff that are there at the table, I would like to call every one of them out, but they have been true partners working with the county, and I appreciate what all of you have done representing the city of Warner Robins as well. Also, I want to say something about the sponsors. Flint Energies, they always pick the Board of Commissioners to sponsor. I don't know if it's because the Board of Commissioners pays a lot of electricity bills to Flint Energies or not, but we always get that number. Synovus Bank, they are always engaged in the sponsorship, and both of them should be thanked for what they do for the Chamber of Commerce in this community. Thank you very much. Also, the delegations. Representative Dickey, I see you the only one that are here today, I believe, unless some of the rest of them are up. As Representative Blackman, he came in late. Glad to have you, Representative Blackman, Chairman Blackman. Come up here. But glad to have both of them. Let me tell you, I said something about the Board of Education of these cities. There's not a better delegation in the state of Georgia that represents this county, and we appreciate y'all. They have a hotline. They call me all the time asking me stuff, and I'm going to beat you to it because you're going to say I call you all the time. But I think it's them calling me all the time. I will miss that, but the friendships will go on forever. Representative Dickey, in case you did not know this, you are the senior member of that delegation. Congratulations to you. Also, I want to say that as we start this program, we've got some good people up here. I talked to Chief Wagner the other day. I don't see him here. I don't think he showed up because he knew there might be problems. He asked me what the program was going to be about. I said, well, we got the new commissioners, we got the old commissioners, and we're going to talk about each other. He said, oh my God. He said, I need to get some more officers up there. I said, no, sir, I don't think you do. I said, because this group right here can talk about each other and be friendly to each other. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to have a good time talking about each other. Angie, I'm going to turn it back to you.
So our conversation late last night were instructions to me to make sure that I stay on script, just like he and April have covered already. And I kind of chuckled inside, and I really wanted to say, are you going to stay on script as well? And then I decided it is absolutely his prerogative to run this program just how he wants to today. So I'm not going to promise that we're going to stay on time, but we're going to get all of this covered before lunch, for sure. So back to the script. I want to thank you again for joining us, and we're really excited to discuss this transition in leadership occurring in Houston County. between now and the end of the year. Not much time left, unfortunately, as well as talk about the service of those retiring and project updates. So, Mr. Chairman, again, tell us about the transition occurring right now in the county and what you see in the future for Houston County.
This is the biggest transition that I've ever witnessed, probably in my lifetime, with what's happening in Houston County. And it's not all bad either, I will say that. As we have people that are moving out, not only in the elected positions, and some that have moved out 2 years ago, we have new ones coming in. We got some very good people coming in, and we'll say more about that in just a minute. But also we've got some executive staff, like Stephen with the Board of Education, Mr. Holland is going out with Houston County. We've got some other executive staff that are retiring before the end of the year. No, all of these people are not leaving because of Dan Perdue. I just want to say that record straight. Where's he at? You're supposed to be up here on the stage, sir. Come on up here. Look at that. But anyway, it's gonna all be good, but the transition is huge that we're having. To give you an example, since 2020, there has been 134 years of elected experience that's walking out the door, already has walked out the door by the end of the year. Commissioner Walker, 38 years on the Board of Commissioners. I don't think you'll ever see another commissioner sitting on the Board of Commissioners for 38 years. I would hope so, but he has set a goal that will be extremely difficult to accomplish going forward. We got Commissioner Michael that went out 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. He and Commissioner Thompson had a lot of experience. They included in that 134 years. And then my own service, not only the 12, but the 38 I had working for the county. That's a lot of knowledge when it walks out the door. And then you go to the staff. Mr. Holland sitting over here, 22 years of service for the county. 12 years in director of administration. We've got a good man coming to take his place. Mr. Dunbar will be taking his place. Also, Mr. Holland, the knowledge that he has, it's not replaceable. You have to learn it. You can't learn it in a few days or a few weeks or whatever. So we have a void that is going to happen. But that void will be picked up and carried very well by the new leadership, and our future chairman, Dan Perdue, will do a great job in doing that. But I will say that to me, it's a time of reflection, but it's a time for hope, a time for hope for the future. And these people that are on this stage, the new ones, they will do a great job. I'm thoroughly convinced of that. I wouldn't be telling you that. I am so pleased that Dan Perdue chose to run for chairman. I'm pleased that nobody has run against him. He will do well as your next chairman. He's got good support people. He's got Commissioner Robinson, Commissioner Byrd, Commissioner Talton. Obviously, Commissioner Byrd's got about a year and a half under his belt. Commissioner Talton's got a few months under his. Commissioner Robinson now is the senior member of the Board of Commissioners in 2023. I always tease with her and I say, Gail, you run for office when you was 15. I think she served like 20 plus years. I'm not going to tell you exactly how many, 20 plus years, so figure her age out. But she will be the senior member, and she will be the brains that's left behind with knowledge as far as past things that have happened and all. But we've got some good folks that are coming in, and I want you to feel just as comfortable with them as I feel with them in saying that. There's always anxiety when you have a transition in leadership and all. But we should not have any anxiety in this county because we are going to put it in good hands. The people have put it in good hands because these people work for the people.
So when you think about the legacy of leadership in Houston County, which fortunately you've heard now, people are in the audience and on this stage, and when we think about, as he alluded to, 2 members up here, besides the chairman, they're leaving after many years of service. You can imagine what a void that's gonna leave. A lot of y'all know I'm from Milledgeville, grew up there, and I always joke about Milledgeville being like the Kevin Bacon game, 6 degrees of separation. So I was thinking about talking about Barry Holland, and we had a restaurant on Lake Sinclair, we had a marina, and it was probably 3 years in with me being here that I started thinking about his last name being Holland, and I said, are you related to him, Holland? Real character, used to come to our restaurant in the marina. He said, that's my dad. And so I've been really delighted to know more about Barry over the years, and I'll say one thing for him. He is the last car in the parking lot every single day. We're gonna miss you. Please tell us what you see, kind of reflect if you want to, talk about what you think the future holds.
Thank you, Angie. My dad's been gone for 12 years, and I miss him greatly. He was, can y'all hear me? Okay, he was a great man, and I miss him. He was a 32-year veteran, and I was very proud of that. I've been here 22 years, like the chairman said, and I've first in purchasing, now directly for the commissioners as the director of administration. I've enjoyed it. I'd like to tell you I enjoyed every single day, but I don't want to lie to you. But I enjoy greatly what I do. I really do. I'd like to think I brought some knowledge with me when I came, but I think I gained much more from the commissioners that are sitting up here, and Mr. Tom out there, Mr. Larry, Gloria Allday, who I also served under, Mr. Ned Sanders, the former chairman. I think they taught me much more about being a public servant than I ever knew. So I hope I did my small part along the way with bringing the county to where they wanted to be, together with my counterpart, Mr. Dunbar, who's director of operations. We kind of try to manage the day-to-day so that they can manage the more important aspects of the county and the government. But Robbie, I think, will do a fantastic job. Matter of fact, I know he will, sliding over into my position, and somebody will pick up the ball in his public works arena and do the same thing for him. So I feel very confident in that. I feel very honored to have been given the opportunity to serve. Mr. Steve Engel, my predecessor, who was the director of administration prior to me, wanted to transition me to this position, and unfortunately he became ill during that transition, and we lost him. I miss him greatly, but he taught me a lot. He was my friend, and he was my boss, and he was a very good mentor to me, and he taught me a lot along the way. So, but I'm just proud to have been able to serve the citizens in the best way that we could, and to help these commissioners reach their goals and serve the citizens. So, I appreciate everything they've done for me. I look forward to retiring. My wife is going the same day I am. She's 37 years at civil service on Robbins, and she's looking forward to that. We've got grandchildren and projects and travel and downtime, and then we'll figure it out from there. But we look forward to that. So, but I want to thank everybody up here and everybody that I've served for in the past for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
If you're wondering, he also started with the county when he was 15.
Yep.
We're going to miss you, Barry. Thank you for your service, and congratulations. Wish you all the best. So we move on now to Commissioner Jay Walker. His public service spans 40 years, believe it or not. He did get promoted from legislator to county commissioner, and we're glad for that we've had him here. Going back to Milledgeville, here's another Milledgeville story. Two of my favorite customers that would come in to eat with us were Jay and Mary Walker. And I was so delighted this morning when I walked in and saw that Mary was here. And I know Jay will recognize the support that she's lended all these years. But Jay, I want to give you a little while to kind of reflect back, maybe some milestones you might want to bring out, and then just talk about what you see for Houston County going forward.
Okay. Well, thank you, Angie, and I enjoyed going to Chubby's. It was a treat every Friday, Saturday night, and getting the Chris Kraft old wood boat I have, and go up to your restaurant and ride around the lake and go back home.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. Just make a few notes I'd like to read if I could. Thank you for the privilege of serving you and every citizen of Houston County for the past 38 years as one of your commissioners and 2 years in the legislature. I want to thank the elected officials, appointed officials, and most importantly, the employees of Houston County for their dedicated service to the citizens of Houston County. I want to thank my wife who's here today and my family for their support while serving on the commission. By any measure, Houston County is an elite county. I have the privilege of serving on state boards and county commission committees over the years, and as one board member stated in a meeting in Atlanta, Houston County has it going on. In January 2023 with Chairman Perdue, Commissioner Robinson, Commissioner Byrd, and Commissioner Gottwald, they will continue to have it going on. Thank you.
So we're going to turn to our other commissioners for some comments, and you're holding the mic. Commissioner Byrd.
Commissioner Townsend.
You cut this thing out. We live? Got it? Huh?
Green.
Check, check.
You got a question?
I do not.
Gotcha. All right. So that's open mic. That's exciting. Everybody pull up a chair. Angie, thank you for filling in today. Thank you for your service to the citizens of this county. First and foremost, I want to say this, 18 months or so on the job, and it is an honor and a privilege for me to serve as Houston County Commissioner, to serve each of you, and to serve the citizens of this county. I think the term legacy of leadership that we have used aptly describes what we are experiencing here in county government and throughout city government and state leadership as well. We're going to miss Commissioner Walker and Chairman Stoniker and Barry's service to this county, but this is a big wheel and it will keep on turning, and the people that are coming in behind share something very much in common with those that are going out, and it's that they care about the citizens of Houston County, and that, in my opinion, is the most important piece of the puzzle. We talk about projecting to the future. I'm very proud of the fiscal responsibility that local governments exhibit in this community, and that's something that will be a high priority for this group going forward. I think it's really important that we keep the main things the main things, and for county government, that's providing services in an efficient manner. It's investing in public infrastructure that allows for a strong and growing economy. At a greater community level, county government is a big part of that greater community. It's prioritizing the things that we have made high on our list today. It's public safety, it's public education, it is health care, it's economic development, which means support of Robins Air Force Base, recruitment of existing industry, expansion of or recruitment of new industry, expansion of existing industry, support of small business. Those are the main things for us, and I think you're going to see those things continue to be the main things going forward. Thank you.
Excellent. So we'll go to our newly elected commissioner, talking about a legacy of leadership. Tal Talton is here with us today, and just want to see just a few months in. What are you thinking?
You know, it's the men and women of this county, the leaders in this county that inspire me to do what I do. It's the leadership up here on the stage. This county's the best county to live in my opinion. Anywhere you go in the state of Georgia, you tell them where you're from, and most people know where Houston County is. So I think these guys and y'all have done a great job of doing that. And as Chairman said before, you know, everybody gets along up here. I remember my first the Friday before our meetings on Tuesday, they bring around the agenda. So they brought me the agenda. I opened it up. I think there was 17 line items on the agenda that day, and starting with identification all the way down to item number 17 had Commissioner Talton beside all of them. So I had to make a phone call and make sure we had to clear that up. But what my point is, we all get along. We all know where we stand and what our role is, and I'd like to, Chairman Stoniker, Commissioner Walker, thank you for the legacy you left behind. Thank y'all so much for paving the way, and leaving a solid foundation for the next generation of leadership in this county. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Tal. So we have our senior member now of the commissioners up here, and I'm sure there's a lot that you could share about what you've seen over the years, and tell us what you're thinking once January 1 rolls around.
Well, yes, I have seen a lot. It's been 24 years, and so I'm 39. And even in the last couple of years with Commissioner McMichael and Commissioner Thompson going off at the same time, it's a big change. I've been there that long, and we've been a pretty constant group. A few changes here and there, but everything kind of slides together. So this is definitely a big transition. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it, and I'm also sad about it. You know, Commissioner Walker has been there since I got on the board. I had 38 years. He's our senior member, and I've been there. I started under Chairman Stafford, and then Chairman Sanders, and now Chairman Stoniker, and soon to be Chairman Perdue, who have all been outstanding leaders. They have done tremendous work. They're very knowledgeable. They're smart in what they do. They're frugal. They're efficient. So we've been very blessed in this county to have this high quality of leadership. People with integrity who truly care about the people and the services that they provide. So we've been very fortunate. I'm really looking forward to serving with our new commissioners and our new chairman, and I see bright things for Houston County ahead. As he said, it's a big wheel. It keeps turning, and we'll keep moving forward. I think the legacy that's been set has been set in the minds of those that are both employees and those that are elected, and will continue forward. I also do want to say Barry has been super as our Director of Administration. He, again, is very knowledgeable. He will truly be missed, and we appreciate his service, and of course wish the best for all the things he wants to do in the future. But I look forward to great things in the county still to come.
So, incoming Chairman Dan Perdue, you didn't feel the gravity of this job before this morning. I'm sure you do now. Just want to give you a little bit of time to talk about what you see on the horizon.
Thank you, Angie. Thank you for stepping in and filling in this morning. You, as my fellow Commissioner Byrd likes to remind people, you have the esteemed honor of viewing this morning both the longest serving commissioner in the history of Houston County and the shortest serving commissioner in Houston County, because I had to resign a year and 2 months into a new term to run for chairman, and Commissioner Byrd likes to give me a little bit of ribbing about that. But what I've been asked most in the last few weeks is, well, do you think you're ready? And my response is, there is no way to be ready for this job. And when I communicate to folks that in the span of about 2 years, we'll go from a commission that every single member has had more than 20 years of service to Houston County, to a commission in which only one member has had more than 20 years of service and everybody else has had under 2 years or about 2 years of service. People's eyebrows begin to raise and they go, how are you managing that? And I said, so I'm thinking about managing that, and I was in the office yesterday. I said, Barry, you got a county issued cell phone? And he said, yeah, I do. I said, what are we going to do about that? He said, well, the chairman's already said he's giving me a cell phone when I leave as a departing gift, and they're going to let me take my number with me. I said, that's fine. As long as you're answering your cell phone, we'll be good to go around here. So there's a lot to learn from these folks, and I think all of the new commissioners are recognizing that the strength of this body has become, that it has been, that every single member on that board isn't up there worried about themselves or what they might gain, but they're worried about the entire county and every citizen in that county. And that's how we're going to continue to lead. We're excited about that. I told someone recently, I was in my Bible reading plan recently, and God was speaking to the nation of Israel about going into the promised land. And he said, you're going to drink from wells that you didn't dig, and you're going to harvest from vineyards that you didn't plant. And I think that's how many of us new commissioners feel coming into and inheriting such a good situation, is that the foundation and the groundwork has been laid now. And it's our job to steward that in a way that is very responsible, very forward-looking, but also with a tremendous amount of respect for the work that it has taken to get to this point. And I'm excited about that opportunity.
I'm sure one source of comfort for Dan coming into this is that he's got his rock that's here today. So I want to recognize that Mrs. Purdue is here as well. Glad to have you here. You want to go off script? Got something?
Yes, I do. I want to follow up on Dan for just a moment. I want to say something about him. He said he's the shortest term commissioner that's ever been in history. I can tell you the 14 months that he was commissioner, I think he studied 24/7. He is a student. He learns. He's a good businessman. He's going to be a good businessman for the county. He's a numbers man. He understands budgets, even though governmental budgets are much different than private enterprise, or a lot of different factors for that reason. But he has done that, and his engagement during this transition there's ever been two people in lockstep. It's been me and him. Because anything that I do that's going to affect him, affect this board, next year, he has knowledge of it. Other members have knowledge of it as well, because I don't want to be doing anything, or this board, the current board, doesn't want to do anything that's going to be detrimental to the new board that's coming in. Dan has even been involved in interviews and replacing people, because he's the one that's going to be there working with them. I wish politics could happen like it's happening with this group up here, in particular Dan and I, in a transition period, because it's about the people. It's not about those individuals that have won office or leaving office. It's about the people when they leave that are being taken care of and being taken care of appropriately. And I said that before I knew Dan was going to be running for chairman. I said, whoever runs for chairman, I will do everything I can to make it a smooth transition, and they will not be locked out. They're going to be locked in, because they're going to be inundated with information and all for them to learn and all. And Dan has done a fantastic job absorbing that, and again, he is going to be an outstanding public servant in this county for many, many years to come, as well as his other leadership team.
So y'all, I hope you've taken a little bit of time to look at the enormous amount of projects that have been scrolling across the screen. And of course, these things don't happen quickly, and I guarantee you that Commissioner McMichael is sitting out in the audience and can tell you exactly when some of these actually started. And it's so rewarding to see them when they do come to fruition. And I think Chairman Stonecker has put a lot of things in high gear, so I think next year you need to come back and we put the same slide up and show what's happened because of the fruits of your labor, and we appreciate that. But you want to take a little while and just talk,
We'll share this around, talk about projects and all, but I'll tell you a little story too. I had a list, a pretty in-depth, extensive list that I shared with the Board of Commissioners in December. And I went over that list and I said, it's very aggressive, ladies and gentlemen, that we get these projects started or either get them complete in 2022. And I saw some rolling of the eyes and looking kind of funny, but they never asked any questions. And they supported those projects, that project list that was given to them that night. And then when I made my announcement in February that I would not be running anymore, I said, I gave you a sign that in all probability I wasn't going to run anymore in December. So when I told you we need to get this these projects rolling, that was an indicator that I would probably be exiting at the end of the current year, 2022. Some of the projects, and it's two I want to mention, and then I'll let people follow up on them and give their views of it, that one is close to completion, and that's the state court building. That building has been a long time coming. And I will thank Robert Dickey and the delegation because they was at the ground floor and allowing that to happen where it's happening. I want to thank the voters for passing the 2018 SPLOST for being able to fund that facility that's being built. That building will be completed by the end of the year. It will be dedicated by the end of the year, and that was one of the things that I have been on my head with the CM and the architect, that building's gonna be finished for exit, so we need to get it here. And that building will house all state court functions that will be moving adjacent to the Superior Court. Now we won't transport prisoners by vehicle. We'll send them through a tunnel to come up into the state court, which is gonna be a cost savings to the county. There's a lot of confusion on jury duty, when they go to state court or Superior Court in two different locations. Now they're going to the same facility. So if there's confusion, they can walk down the hall to the appropriate court they need to be in on. But that's gonna be a huge asset for Houston County. Another thing that we are not directly involved in, but I'm about as proud of this project as I have been any of the projects that have been done in this county. And this because of partnership. Warner Robins is one of the leaders in this project. They will be the owner of this project. City of Perry has participated in this. City of Centerville and Houston County is the manager of the money that's passing out for this project. It was a voter-approved project in 2018, and the Board of Education is the one that's administering this project, and it's the natatorium. It is underway. We asked Dr. Scott early on in the process if the Board of Education would manage this project and build this project, and we would provide funds. But on top of that, the Board of Education is providing funds for this project, as well as the land and all. But ladies and gentlemen, the partnership that came together, that made that facility happen, were the three cities, Board of Commissioners, and the Board of Education. I don't think it would be happening if that had not happened, if all those parties had not come together. Dr. Scott, again, you're the champion in there. Dr. Brown led that particular project on behalf of the Board of Education. Jared Renaud with the City of Warner Robins was heavily involved, and a number of other people that was involved. But I'm going to be extremely proud of that project when it's complete. I have been asked if I was going to swim in it. I said I will probably swim in it, but it will not be competition. But those are two projects that jump out to me. They're road projects that are ongoing. There's some renovation projects you can see that's scrolling by. But I'm going to let some of the other commissioners say something about it. And I'm going to kick the mic down to future commissioner or future chairman Purdue, because I can tell you, he's very aware of all these projects.
I was asked the other day, looking out towards the future, what projects do you see as necessary? And I had to be honest with them and said, well, honestly, I see us finishing the projects that were started this year. And Chairman Stonecker has clearly communicated that the previous 49 years of his service to the county were a marathon, and the last year of his service to the county will be a sprint, trying to get some of these projects both started and completed. So we're excited about these projects. There's lots of road projects that will be done, and we're looking forward to those. There's also water projects, as some of you may know, that the cities that we're good partners with in this county rely on us to provide them with a lot of water, and we look forward to doing that many years in the future. And so we're continuing to expand water infrastructure so that we can contribute to the future growth of this county, and we're excited about that. But really looking forward to wrapping up the state court project, getting the natatorium off the ground. Those are sort of some of the flagship banner projects, but there's lots and lots of projects around the county that we're excited about seeing across the finish line.
Yes, sir. I would add this, maybe not so much the what on the projects, but the how on the projects. So Houston County, point of pride for Houston County is we have the lowest millage rate in all of Middle Georgia, stay in compliance with tax cap legislation, one of the lowest millage rates in all of the state of Georgia. That does not leave a lot of money to do a lot of capital expenditure projects. So we are able to execute these projects because of the voter-approved SPLOST programs. That is a place that this room can be very involved in pushing forward projects that are both important to you and then getting behind SPLOST initiatives when they are available, because without that SPLOST funding, we don't do these projects. Similar to that, eSPLOST in support of the Houston County Board of Education allows us to keep up with growth and have a top-tier public education system in this community. So, thank you.
If you don't mind, I can tell you a little bit about another project. It's not a vertical construction project, it's not a road project, but it's more of a software project that ties together. It's the court case management project that will take it'll replace our 25 to 30-year-old court case management system and replace that with a new software program that links together all the courts, the solicitor's office, the DA's office, the jail, the sheriff's office, the warrant's office. It takes that case from cradle to grave and allows each one of those entities and even some outside agencies to view that case and move that case along in the court system. That's a multi-year, multi-million-dollar project, believe it or not. Software and licensing is extremely expensive, so that's a project that we've been working toward almost 3.5 years now, and hope to bring that to the end here by November, I think. And I think, if you don't mind, I'll mention, you mentioned this as well, they just kicked off the expansion of the health department, of course, and a new addition to that facility, which is much needed, and also some renovations to the existing facility. So that's exciting as well.
I realize I'm stating the obvious here, but there's a lot of work that goes into these projects, but then the implementation of it, that's where Barry really shines and steps in. So a lot of times that's an unsung hero part of it. It's already announced, it's great, but then Barry keeps it going. So
let me say something about a couple of road projects I know you may have interest in one of them anyway. Those of you that travel the Houston Lake Road, Fagan Mill Road intersection, I realize the congestion there. Mayor Patrick and the city staff and county staff and myself has met on this project several times. You probably see some orange barrels there. There's an improvement project for that intersection that's about to begin. County has already let the contract on that particular improvement for additional left turn lanes and right turn lanes. So that intersection will be improved over what it is now. There's 2 roads that have not been improved, and I think that are major roads to happen in the future for this county. One of them's in the south end of the county, located in Perry. The other one's in the north end of the county, and it's the Thompson Mill Road extension, where Thompson Mill Road are currently dead ends. Plans are to extend that road all the way to 247 and line up with Piney Grove Road, lines up with Piney Grove to create an intersection for people trying to get to Veterans High School. That is a must that road happen. The one in Perry is the one by Tract Supply, St. Patrick's Drive. It will come out on the parkway over there to relieve some of the traffic congestion off of Sam Nunn, open up that property for industrial and commercial development and all. The mayor and the city of Perry have been very engaged in that. I will tell you on that project, as ahead of the Thompson Mill Road project though, because that project, all the right-of-way has been secured. The plans are almost complete. The construction plans are almost complete there. As far as the Thompson Mill Road, the right-of-way has been committed. The deeds have not been signed on the majority of the right-of-way to build that road. So over the next few years, I think you're going to see both of these roads, and I hope this group continues to push, and you do have to push to be able to get these roads started, to bring them to fruition, and those are 2 major roads. There's a lot of other roads that are under consideration for improvement. We could do a whole program on roads, but time is running out, and Angie, I wanna thank you for what you do. You're so smooth and what you do as far as coming in, stepping in for April. Not only that, but what you do each and every day for this county. The wins that you have been, engaged with over the last few months and all. You've done a fantastic job there, and I appreciate what you've done as well. I'm gonna do one thing I told April I wanted to do, and we may not get any. But I said, a politician, which I'm not a politician, I want to let you know that right now, I'm an elected official. And there's a difference, isn't it, Chairman Dickey, between a politician and an elected official. But I want to open the floor up to an open mic. I'm gonna let you ask any question in this group of people in the last few minutes that we've got that you would like to ask. It may be a question that you don't know, it could be a really small answer, but you just never had the chance to ask it. But if any of you have a question, raise your hand, we're gonna send you the mic, and we're gonna answer it, and we got about 2-3 minutes to be able to do this, so it's gonna be quick. So, do I have any takers? Anybody wanna ask any questions? Oh, General, you wanna come up this way? Why don't you walk up? We got the mic coming to you, just hold on.
Y'all hear me okay? Yeah. All right, I think we're fine. Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to ask you, from your 50 years of service to this community, is there one thing that stands out over your time that you would say you're most proud of over the 50 years you've greatly served this community?
I would say there's not one. I could draw a long list and then probably put them in priority. But one that sticks to my mind that's related to you. And I am accused of doing this, and I did not do this, ladies and gentlemen. The General had summoned us to a group of community leaders to a meeting, and he was explaining the need for additional space for Robins Air Force Base to expand some of the software capabilities. And we sat there and listened to him, and Colonel Moore was the base commander at that time. And we sat there, and I remember Chrissy Minor was sitting on my right. And I leaned over and I said, what's so hard about this? I mean, we can get this done, no problem. So she said, you need to tell him. So after the meeting, I asked him, I said, General, do you mind talking to me for a minute? Could we go in your office? Now he says I told him to go in his office. That is not true. I asked him to go in his office. I asked him to go in his office, and that day, that deal was made for the Synergy building to happen, and then the other buildings have been bought since then. A man that is no longer with us, that was a big part of that, and played a big role in it, once we started moving forward, was Wayne Lowe. And he's to be commended for what he did, not only out there, but throughout this community in his life, serving folks in Houston County. But that has been a show changer, I think, for the base. It's a show changer for the Development Authority going forward and doing that. I would say that's one of the things that I'm extremely proud of. But again, there's a lot of other things that I am. But that day, I remember General Bennett telling me, I've never seen anything move this fast. I said, well, this is local government, General, this is not federal government.
I have to say Project Synergy is my favorite too, and that kind of encapsulates, you know, who he is. And I've been in some other sessions around the country with other economic developers, and I've told this story. And it seems that every time I'm with a group, there's somebody that's got a military installation in their community, and they just are astounded that something like this came together, and as quickly as it came together. And then it comes down to relationships, which he always has, communication, which he does so well, and most importantly, there's trust. And I will speak for my board that several members are here today that we appreciate you, most importantly, for those three things.
We got 2 minutes according to the clock on the wall, and Dr. Scott's sitting on pins and needles. I think he wants to ask a question.
When you're gonna go swimming, so I
Actually, we're gonna have a tandem, Dr. Scott. It's gonna be you and me.
With that, I think we're ending on a great note. And I know that David and Sarah would like to come up and take a few more minutes before we close.
Great save there, Angie, great save. So, I don't know that, thank you is enough, but, I think everyone here can see just how much we appreciate all that you all have done. Chairman Stalnaker, Commissioner Walker, Director of Administration, Barry Holland. It goes without words to say that we thank you for all that you've done. And so I hope that you will accept these small mementos here, would you mind? And their names on those. Those are just a few little small mementos that we're giving as a gift. And we hope that you think of us as a community when you wear those, and think of all the great years of service that you provided in leading Houston County. So thank you for that. We're going to take just a brief second to take a group photo here, and then we'll conclude, okay?
Thank you very much.
Y'all stay seated. We want him to look like a grandfather.
All right, ready? Look right here. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect.
Thank y'all, everybody. Have a great day.
See y'all.